So I was at the Thunderbolts premiere last night, so before I do a deeper dive on YouTube, I wanted to come on here and give you my first impression, spoiler-free, of Thunderbolts. Right off the bat, I will say I thoroughly enjoyed this film. It was spectacular. I know a lot of people on online right now are talking about how this is giving Endgame feels, or it's made them feel the way that they felt when they watched Endgame films. I don't think that there's a single movie in the MCU that made me feel the way that this one felt. If I had to rank it, I'll be honest with you, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. There are some things I'm going to talk about later on that made me feel that way or brought me to that level, and then there's something I absolutely cannot talk about until I do my spoiler review, because that's truly where the kind of 2-point drop rank came from. But this movie deals with a lot of mental health issues, themes, all of the above. If you are someone who may not be in the best mental health, go in with that caution. Just because we're dealing with a character like the Void, we're dealing with the epitome of darkness itself. This is a personified entity of darkness. And I think that when you're talking about themes, we kind of already know where the mental health is going to go from, especially when we're dealing with a ragtag group of anti-heroes like the Thunderbolts, who are mercenaries, they're killers. And most of them didn't get into this line of work by choice. Most of them were forced in at a very young age, or forced in at an adult age, or X, Y, and Z. So even just stripping the, century of it all, those individuals had a lot to deal with on their own, with mental health, and really just life and tragedy in general. So if we're just looking at that as its own theme, this ragtag group, that's already a lot to deal with. What I will say is it deals with a lot of themes of mental health, and if you are a Yelena stan, this is, as much as the heading says Thunderbolts, this is a Yelena movie. This is a beautiful movie that Yelena leads. She is the heart, she is the soul of the Thunderbolts, and she's the heart and soul of this film. So if you are a fan of Yelena, I think you're really going to enjoy this. And it does talk about a lot of things that are happening out in the world. We get glimpses of that, but this is a very contained, very singular, a very human level movie that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. And Valentina Desfontaine is a glorious, I kind of don't want to say villain, but like politician, but I mean, I feel like those words are sometimes synonymous, but I think she did a fantastic job, and I just love, I watch her, I see Veep, and I think that it is impressive. But I will be doing a deeper dive on YouTube, because there's so much to digest in this film. But if you have the opportunity, please go watch Thunderbolts so that we can have a conversation.